You found your way back to your seat? And don't make me have to repeat. I like how I made that rhyme. Thank you very much. Some of you came in a little, didn't get a chance to get a name tag. Make sure you do that. This is a great deal about who you know. But some of you have heard me say this before. You know the first part. It's not just what you know, it's who you know. Here's the second part. It's not just who you know, it's what who you know knows about you. It's not original. I heard it from a speaker from in Miami-Dade, in Miami. A name of Sharon Parker was her name, Dr. Parker. And for years, I've seen that come into play. Now, don't get it twisted. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect. I don't know anyone perfect. Matter of fact, if you see someone and everything looks perfect, back up and raise an eyebrow. Okay? I'll be the first one to tell you that most of my knowledge, most of my learning has come from my imperfection. Has come from the mistakes I've made, some of which I'm still digging out of. Life will do that to you. But your posture has everything to do with what you do to it. How many of you are here for the first time? Oh, wow. Give yourselves a hand. That's outstanding. All right. Now, where are the veterans? You've been here more than once. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So here's what I'd like to do. Today is very interesting for you. Those of you here for the first time, you'll have to come back next month to be here for the first time again. Because Charles, mad scientist Blair, who you probably saw in all the things that got you here, is downstairs running our mastermind. His mastermind, listen to me, our mastermind. I'm a participant in the mastermind. And that's a 2-day event that he puts on. People who join that, you know, they have a greater access, a kind of a quarterly thing, quarterly engagement, and a variety of personal resources, personal touch. So I get the privilege of, and you get the privilege, getting more of me. Isn't that great? So one of the things that I wanted to make sure I positioned you for is to create exponential growth. Who knows what I mean when I say that? Yeah, not 1 + 1, or not 2 + 2, not even 2 times 2. Exponential growth is this kind of thing that multiplies out. And I'm sure you've done this before, or some of you have, but let's say that we can facilitate through your direct, motivated execution the kind of growth that will allow you to free yourself within whatever prescribed time you set. You set it. Your activity, your willingness to change, we're going to tell it like it is. Your willingness to step a little bit outside that comfort zone. How'd that feel for you today? Is that all right? All right. All right, so sometimes it's not as bad as you anticipate it's going to be. So let's say that you have, how many of you still have jobs? Okay, that's a lot of us. Okay, how many of you wouldn't mind having something else? Well, I was going to say instead, but I just realized that this is being recorded here, so you don't have to raise your hands if you don't want to. Your boss is not going to be trolling around looking for you, but just in case. But you make a great salary. So let's say that you make $100,000 a year, but you're still just trying to get out. It's just too much. What you have to do for what you get is just not enough. And somebody comes to you and says, I'm going to give you $100 a month and teach you how to do it. I'll double it. How many of you know where I'm headed with that? How many of you have done that before? Have you ever done it for 30 days or 30 months? One person has? So month 1, you bust your butt, and at the end of that month, you get a clean check for $100. Everybody's looking at you in your family. And they're saying, so you basically, I have to work overtime to pay the bills because you're going to bring in $100 a month. I said, no, it's not $100 a month. It doubles every month. Oh, great. So next month I can look for $200. What happens month 3? Month 4. Month 5. Somebody got good math skills. 6. So 6 months, they're saying, you made $100,000 a year. Month 7. I'm listening to you. Month 8. How much?
128.
128.
I'm going to have to add myself. I don't know.
12,000, yeah.
Month 9.
556.
There we go. Somebody got a calculator out there. 10.
52.
512.
That's,
512.
5 and 5 is 10. That's not right.
51,251.
512.
53.
512. 51200.
I should use my own fingers. Okay. You said that's 51200?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So now I got to change the rules because the month you bring in $51,200, it's a new day for some of us. Still not $100,000 a year. What happens in month 11 based on this? 2 and 2 is 4.
102, 400.
I don't trust you. I just don't trust you. Is that right?
Yes.
So what was that salary that you started with? So in a sense, you might be able to match your income in a year. Now, has anyone made it work like that lately? Probably not too many folks in here, but I know someone who did better than that. One of the speakers that should be speaking down there tomorrow, Brittany. She came and spoke a little bit here last month. Brittany Calloway left a 6-figure job. Stress and distress, she left it because she had, I think she said 2 deals, but she had 2 deals that would more than match her salary. And so she quit, very excited, and then the deals fell through. So I want to say to you that whatever you're doing, it's not going to be a walk in the park. You might want to hedge your bet and don't jump the gun, but you can make some money. You can meet people like you see here. You can do business, but if you make some money, make that money work for you. There's some people here who help that happen. If you can't hold on to what you got until you can't afford to work, does that make a difference? All right, so looking at this, I have to stop here because in 15 months, okay, you don't, all right. Let's change this now to years. No, quarters. I don't want to go to years. So in the 11th quarter, that's $204,800. In the 12th quarter, that's 409.
409,600.
I'm sorry?
409,600.
Okay, all right. And I want to stop at 15.
819,200.
14 is. 14 is. Because just broke me down. Let me go to my
163,840.
400. And quarter 15
is 3276800.
Okay. Now I'm going to say we go from here to being years instead of quarters. Is that okay?
That's all right.
But still, it's a little bit different than the JOB, isn't it? This is potential. It never hardly happens like this. Even when I started telling you about Brittany, but she made more that next quarter. She tripled what she used to make. So you go backwards and then you go forward. You follow? I want to say to you that you have to have a walk of faith in this game. That you have to, I don't know, and I know the forum here is not about your spirituality, but I'll call it whatever you call it. You got to have a little something. You got to have some vision to make that decision. Because you will run into potholes, even when you're in the jet zone. Is that right, Bill?
Oh, yeah.
Even when things start clicking, something's going to happen sometimes. But it feels a lot better when you have a lot of money sitting in the bank.
Yes.
Or where is it, Richard? Richard, I met a guy, Richard, today, I think it's Richard, said he's got no, not you, Richard, it was,
John?
what's your name, sir? John, it was John. So he can do something else with your money to make your money multiply and then give it to Uncle Sam. So there are all kinds of strategies and techniques. So I want to know who would like to make a couple of more deals than you've already made. If you made 0, that would be 2. But you'd like to make a couple of more deals than you've made maybe in the next 90 days. Anybody? So I just want to talk to you. Now, some of you didn't raise your hand because you want to make more than a couple of more
Answer your
deals.
question again, Cliff. I was talking.
That guy's name, I don't know. I don't know Marty's name. I don't know. So here's the deal. The truth is I can't help you. The truth is nobody here can really help you to do that unless you make a commitment to yourself. If you make the commitment to step out of your comfort zone, to step out of your doubt, to step out of the what ifs. Now, wait a minute. What ifs are important if you're looking for solution. But if you're looking for an excuse, it'll kill you. All right? So if you're willing to step out of that, now, part of that blessing is to grab hold of somebody who you have a little bit of confidence in, who can help you to take that little walk, and then use the resources that you find starting in this room. We have contractors. I don't know if we have any here today. We usually do. We have people who have properties that they are ready to sell. They have positioned those properties so that they are perhaps exactly what you're looking for. We have people here who will teach you about how to figure out what you're looking for. There are people in this room, the camera here is facing you. There are people here in this room who have made a lot of mistakes so they can help you get wealthy. But you can't meet them all at one time. I got you started with at least 2. I'm going to help you by having some of those people stand up. And the thing is that you know who you are. So I'm going to ask, and I've got it, let me take, by the way, take your phone, please, and put it on silent. Sometimes I do that on purpose. I got it on ultra power saving mode so that I would still have the juice so that my agenda doesn't fall out. But I've got this set up so that key people who are already here in this room can be a resource to you to help you to create some wealth. And the mastermind thing that we're talking about, I think I mentioned that a little bit to you. Charles is down there because we have some people who are a little bit more hungry than the norm. Some of them, they may be broke, but they're not broke down. And so they have, with their vision, they're investing in maximizing their growth. And I'll be joining them shortly. If you can do that, there are more than a couple of areas that have some decent things going on. Keep your eyes open. I just want you to know that if you really want it, sometimes you're gonna have to be willing to step out a little bit more on faith. Take it and turn it on stun. Mine isn't on, I do that as a joke most of the time. It's put it on vibrate or off, okay? And let me just peek at this to see who I said I wanted to do first, because I had a real reason. Okay, so is there anyone here today that has properties that they want to sell? Raise your hand like you use a deodorant so I can see you. Okay, so there are a couple people right now that have properties that they want to sell. Now in the business, you have people that want to sell to maybe other wholesalers. You have people who want to sell to, retailers, people who want to live in the house. You have people who want to sell to rehabbers. So you have to define what it is you want to sell. And that price point is going to determine who's going to hear you. So 2 people, raise your hand again. Okay, do you know what kind of property you want to sell? Or you want to tell us a little bit about it real quick?
Me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
What's your name?
Nadine Simmons.
Say it again.
Nadine Simmons.
Last time.
Nadine Simmons.
You heard it 3 times. I don't want to hear nothing else. Go ahead, Nadine.
Okay. I have a 4-2 at 726 Nottingham Road, Baltimore.
What part of town is that in?
Well, I can't tell you because
Okay.
I'm from PG, but I'm helping someone.
You're helping someone well.
I
That's
knew
good.
it.
That's
I knew
nice.
it.
All right. There's some people that don't want to tell everybody else where that is. Go ahead.
Zip code 21229.
Uh-huh.
It's an off-market BizBoat.
Do you have a price you want to share right now? Or you want?
Yes, it's priced at $160.
All right.
It's a cosmetic fixer.
Mhm.
Only
Okay.
$20K to fix this up.
Nadine, how do people get in touch with you?
You can reach me at 206-240-4367 or email P as in Paul, WRMGT.LLC@gmail.com.
When you take a break, if you didn't get that, that's Nadine, to make sure you touch base with her. I want to commend you on not saying it so fast that people can't get it. Sometimes people, I say, do you really want them to know? Call me at 6:05, I'll get around and talk. And?
I have a tax lien to sell.
Ooh.
It's in Reservoir Hill.
Oh, no. See me about that. Not this
Oh,
one.
you saw it on the paper and the Sun yesterday. Well, a couple days ago.
Okay, okay.
There was an article in the paper in the Sun yesterday, or not yesterday, maybe a couple of days ago, about the investment that's going into Reservoir Hill. So there are some pretty good comps in the area. Now the property itself is currently, well, it's a diamond in the rough. It's very rough. It's a condemned property right now.
I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, tell them what you want for it, and if you know how much it's going to cost to fix it up and you got an idea, share that. If not, they'll do some due diligence.
Okay, well, I'm asking $7,000 for the tax lien, which will cover my costs. The foreclosure process has started, and there will be some other foreclosure costs. So if anybody's interested, please come see me.
And your number, you want to, or would you rather just them come see you?
No, I'll give my number.
There you go.
410-647-0784. And my email is ANNOYANTZ@yahoo.com.
By the way, you get 7 to 10 days, do what you want. If you don't, I or somebody else is going to jump all over that. All right, and nod your hand. Oh, and we have a third person there, right? That's it, just 3 kids. 4.
I got, my name is Fred Dorsey. Some of y'all may have got my email through a Real Deal meetup. I got a property down on MLS yet. It's in Parkville, 8212 Laurel Drive. It had fire damage, but it's a colonial. It's a short sale. It's listed, it's going to be going on the market maybe next Wednesday. I got it listed at 114. It comes in the area going for 225 to 245. So it needs maybe give or take 100,000. That's what the rehab that she wanted, but you might get 50 or 60. So before I put it on the market, I'm gonna go through investors. So whoever brings a bid first, the next phase will be a 203K buyer. So it's a colonial 4 bedrooms.
So is there going to be a price before it gets into the MLS? Because the MLS, there's a fee.
No, there's no fee for the MLS.
If you sell the property,
Yeah, I'm a licensed agent.
yeah, so that's your fee. Okay.
Right.
Either
So
way.
the short sale is won't go on the market for 114.9.
Mhm.
So if any bids come in, like I'm having a showing 1 to 3, so I'll be at the property today from 1 to 3. So if you want to contact me, I can give you my email and as well as my number.
I think you ought to do that.
My email will be info@freddorseyjr.com. That's info@freddorseyjr.com. The number I can be reached will be 936-3-FREDMV. So it's 936-FRED-MOVE. 936-3-FREDMV. So it's 936-337-3368.
So before I call on the next person, I had intended to greet you like this. And then as we got into talking, I would tell you that you're going to run into some stuff. And invariably, I was going to ask you to read that out loud in order to make it.
If you can't calm the waters, learn to ride the waves.
Now, I had you in mind because I thought your voice was going to project a little more than that. I'm going to ask you to do that again, okay? I'm going to set that up. I say, look, you're going to go through some stuff in life, but you got to have the right posture about it. So sometimes what you got to do is,
If you can't calm the waters, learn to ride the waves.
there you go, that's how you do that. Everybody give him a hand. You got to learn to ride the waves. You go with the flow. You keep it moving. Yeah, sometimes you get the wind knocked out of it. You fall down to your knees. If you do, that's a good place to start prayer. Just get it done, whatever you need to do. And I'll say there are a lot of people around you who say you can't do it and it's not going to work out. Some of you already read it because I blew my mark. But here's the mark. Here's what you tell them.
They say I can't do it. They don't know me very well.
That's it. Now give him another hand. I want to ask you to adopt an attitude of crusher. Whatever ugly, evil, dark, defeatist thing comes your way, you're just going to crush it. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Martha Carter. I know quite a few of you. I have 22 income-producing rent and hold properties, 21214, 21224, 21224, and 21205. I also have land in 21237. One already has the building permit and is ready to roll. In that particular spot, there are 2 lots. One is a double lot, and wedged in between them is the original home, which is a 5-bedroom rancher, which would make a great rent and hold. Or you could do a fix and flip on it. But I also get bulk REO negotiated properties. So I have REO lists. They are listed, but the price you will get them for is well below the listing because we've already negotiated with banks in bulk. So my telephone number is 410-963-8919. My email, both times the number 1 is numeric, not spelled out, but numeric. It's one voice, one vision, dot MC for my initials at gmail.com. Again, that's one voice, one vision, dot MC at gmail.com. And if you're a newbie and you want to learn how to move the REO properties, I have a very simple time you get the list, what steps to take, so you can do some deals and make some money. Like to help get the DD started, it's really easy for you.
What's your first name again?
Martha. And have cards here if anybody wishes.
So I'm putting my number, my mobile number, my Google mobile number up there, because usually I be writing everybody's stuff down as you're talking, and I'm not going to be able to do that today. I'm facilitating and helping you. But if you have something that you want to communicate with me about, please do so here. All right? Also, leverage me too. That's at yahoo.com. Just to be a resource to you. And if there's somebody I know here that I can connect you with, or in some way I can be of service to you or some assistance, it would be my privilege to do so. Now, you've met people who have something presently to sell. If you go to the Real Deal Meetup page, and you go across, how many have already been there? Okay, good. Most of you have. Go back there and make sure you sign in and join. But go to the page and look up at the top. There is a directory. You can pull down on that directory and find more resources. And if you intend to have someone, you have services, or you want to be contacted, sign up for the directory. My last check, it was still free. It may not always be so. So get yourself in the directory, and people can look you up and follow through with you. All right? Let's see. Thank you. Oh, $1 million too. Hey, you're a good man. You're that honest man, yeah.
If you're gonna try something, try money.
That's right. I said it's $1 million because it was Joe Brown's card and Marlon's card for you. See, 'cause I know the connections, there's money. So speaking of money, how many of you would like to own property and you don't own property yet? How many of you own property you want more? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool, really, excellent. Ah, Bill, you know, that man is something else. Okay, I would like to have any lenders in the room. Okay, people who are connected to lenders.
Go back here.
Raise your hand like you use a good deodorant. We'll keep telling, well, unless you don't. If you don't use a good, do like that, then, okay.
I
All right.
can connect you to lenders for my deals.
All right, perfect, perfect. We're gonna start right here. And listen, we're gonna take like, just a couple of minutes, just don't, so we can keep moving. But go right here, Joe.
Good morning, it's still morning. I'm Joe Brown. I connect lenders and borrowers. From the borrower's perspective, the process is very simple. You come to me, you fill out a very short profile, you submit that. My company works nationwide. We have vendors just about in every state, and we match your profile to their requirements. And when there's a match, it's usually between 3 and 5 lenders, we marry the connection together and take it from there. From a lender perspective, you have your profile, your requirements. You can get it specified even down to a zip code. So if you have a zip code that you want to work in or don't want to work in, you can make that specification. It can be anywhere in the country. If you want to register with us as an official vendor, all right, you can get nationwide coverage, all right, and it's very simple, works well, and that should probably do it.
How do we connect with you?
Joe Brown, I've got a card up here, I'll put cards on the table,
Okay.
and you can go from there.
Thank you, Joe.
By the way, before we go to the next one, can you see my handwriting back there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Those of you who can't, just make sure you catch up with it here. This Charles Bear's information. Yes.
Can I just ask a quick question to Joe, so everybody hears it, because I may not be the only one charge a fee, if we send you somebody, do you charge a fee or you get yours from the bank? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm gonna write this part a little bit smaller because I don't know if I have permission to do this part. This is Charles Mad Scientist Blair's contact information. I'm sure this part is fine. That's his mobile number. I'm gonna probably cross it off in a couple of minutes just in case I shouldn't have. I think it's probably fine. But I call him Mad Scientist. He said it first. So, but I like that idea because in observing this guy over the past year, I've seen him give away more stuff than some people sell for tens of thousands of dollars. And he keeps doing it. And he keeps doing it. And sometimes, like this place here, I mean, we're scheduled, I thought 12:30. I think that's about how long we're going to be going today. But he's going till 2 o'clock. And you know, I've sat down with him on the side and said, why are you giving so much? What are you doing? And of course, you know, there's the answer that the warm and fuzzy is that he's done a lot, gotten a lot of people helped him, he just wants to do the same thing. But there's a business side to everything too. The more people that know what he can give away for free, how many of you would pay money to be a part of it? You know, don't have to raise your hand on that, because I know if you get a bunch for free, you see more value added. That's enough said. All right, so he can be found at Real Deal 3.0 on Facebook. He's on Twitter and all that, on the meetups. Page1success.com, I think, is his website. But if you Google him, if you just type his name, his stuff will come up. Go to YouTube and look him up. How many of you got taken advantage of some of those videos? Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Who's next? I saw like 5 lenders. Martha made a comment. You said that you can help them find funding for your deals, right?
Yes, I can match you up with some lenders, private money lenders, hard money lenders, foreign lenders.
So some of you are trying to get in the game, some of you are trying to pick up on your game. These are the kinds of people you want to connect with. Yes. Oh, Diane, I thought you had your hand up. All right, another hand in the back was a lender. Yes.
My name is Kenneth Avery. I'm a private lender who specializes in funding deals for investors. And usually do deals from 6 to 8 months. Contact me at 301-602-0387. We specialize in the DMV area. We have many lends, so we try to help people get out of that race like that.
Thanks.
Can you give me a number again?
301-602-0387.
Right. All right, thanks.
Thank you. Email address is deals, DELS, at KandJConnections.com. Again, it's deals at KandJConnections.com.
KNJ, okay. Oh.
Good job, good job.
I have business cards back here too if you want to.
There's a table over here on the left, on my right, but on your left, that if you have some information you want to leave, feel free to do so. Again, we are about networking and facilitating a forum for you to get paid, all right? Now, I will also ask you to have a level of integrity that may be a step above what you'd like to receive. And that is to say, please don't promise anything you can't deliver. There's the saying, what is it? Under promise and over deliver, right? Make that your mantra. Do more than you can for somebody, you'll get multiple business. It's easier with a customer or a client or a person who already knows you to do business with you because what they know about you is something they count on. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of deals I'm working on, and I had 2 lenders that talked to me about some fantastic rates. I don't know them yet. I'm trying to get to know them. Well, I've been Burke before. True confessions, I'm still working on cleaning up some stuff myself. You know, this is human, right? But you keep a relationship, you keep communicating, right? And you work the deals out. Be at your very best, and the rest will take care of itself. You raised your hand twice, right? No. Okay, yes.
Good morning, my name is Ashley Chatham with Next Level Financing, and I assist investors with rehab financing and transactional funding. With the residential rehab financing, I have two really great flat fee programs that investors can get a term as much as 6 months with no monthly interest payments. And then also for transactional funding for wholesalers or for investors that are trying to flip a short sale or REO, I have the one day funding or a dough for a day, and then extended transactional financing for up to 12 months.
Just in case of a question you might be able to answer, this is a prime example. One of the things that we do to sort of protect ourselves is we will send money to the title company that we work with because we know them, they know us, we know that the funds are protected.
Right.
Is that an acceptable way for you to have that flat fee? Or does that money go directly to somebody we haven't met yet?
Well, for the flat fee programs, for residential rehab, I will put you in direct contact with the lender.
Okay.
So that for one lender, their flat fee, you're gonna pay at payoff.
All right.
So it's a 10% flat fee to when you resell the house for,
Ooh, that's
Everybody hear that? The ears wiggle now, people want your number again.
my phone number is 301-640-8121, and I'll say it 3 times for you. 301-640-8121. My name is Ashley Chatham. Email is ashleychatham@hotmail.com, and I'll spell that for you. ASHLEYCHATHAM@hotmail.com. And I have cards at the back.
Their website?
Beautiful.
Their website?
I have a website, but I'll send you the flyers, and like I said, with the flyers, you will be in direct contact with the lender.
Thanks.
Go ahead, question for, there are a few, what other lenders do I have up there? There were a couple, 3 others? That all the lenders? All right, so here's a question. Are there any lenders who are positioned to deliver in 30 days?
Yeah, our lender, you can,
15 days?
7 to 10.
7 to 10 days?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
After loan approval.
Yes. Okay, how long for loan approval?
It just depends on how quickly the borrower.
If the borrower gets the stuff to you, you can turn it around.
Yeah.
Everybody hear that? Why do you think I asked that question? You have a deal that's, sometimes deals have timelines. If you don't know now, you know, as the saying goes. All right? So make a point of communicating. Make notes about the people whose name and numbers you're taking, because you'll get home and you'll have all these phone numbers and you won't know why you have them. Yes, 1 and then 2. Next to Kenneth, and then
I
you.
wanted to ask Ashley a question. Can you like get pre-approved, or is it per house? Like, is your approval on the house or on the person's finance?
It's on the house, and they do take into account, it's on the house, so I'll forward over basic property address, purchase price, rehab cost, after repair value, and the lender will tell, they'll approve up to 65% of the after repair value, but it is property specific. And then as far as the actual borrower, they will pull credit. They're looking mostly for negative actions such as bankruptcies, tax liens, any issue of foreclosure, but they don't have a minimum credit score. But they're going to take credit into account.
Okay, very good.
But it's
Thank you.
mostly approval based on the property.
All right. Next to Kenneth.
You said what?
No docs?
Documents. They do want to see a proof of assets, 15 to 20,000 people in order to issue the pre-approval letter. But they're not going to look at bank statements, not going to look at W-2s, not looking at tax returns. They're asset-based lending, so they're looking primarily at the equity in the property.
That's important information, isn't it?
Yes.
How many of you have want more information? Okay, we're going to give you an opportunity to get more information in about 2 minutes. All right, you can ask another question. I just want to get you in here, and I'll be able to get you. We're going to actually open it back up. That's okay with everybody. All
So
right?
actually, he's Kay and I'm Jay of Kane Vacations. similar to her, we are primarily asset-based lenders, but if you're really looking to turn funds in 7 to 10 days after loan approval, on a regular basis, I would encourage you to build a relationship with us ahead of time, so that we can get the HUD warrants, because ourselves and the lenders that we represent, we're gonna require proof of previous deals that have been successfully done. So you need to find some HUD, minimum of 5 HUD warrants, and we will pull credit. Like we said, it's not credit-based, but we are just looking to make sure that you're taking care of business even if you had something bad happen in the past. So I just really encourage you to build a relationship now before you need the funds, for a quick turn asset purchase.
Thank you, Jay. All right, so one of the things I think you heard and what I'm endeavoring to do is to give you those teachable moments of those key points that when somebody says, how was it? You go, great, and say what you learned, and you'll have something you can say back. Somebody, I can't remember, but it was good. That sucks for me. I want you to have some specific things that you have. So one thing, you're going to meet lenders and buyers and sellers and people who can tell you how to use your money after you made your money. People who buy and hold, they and maybe how to be a better landlord, maybe how to have a system. Those are all possible. I don't know if we'll get all that done at this time, but keep your ears open. But okay, Marty. I guess I'm gonna let you go now because I lost my thought.
I'm sorry,
That's all right. It'll come back.
Just a question to the lenders. I also do modular homes, and I've ran into some interesting things with these banks just Friday, and they don't want to release the funds to the modular builder until the modular is physically on the property. Now, the modular builder will not release the building until they're paid 80 to 90% depending on the builder. Any of the, and I'm looking for a 30-year mortgage, and I was wondering if any of the lenders here have anything that they can send me or help me out with.
Raise your hand if that sounds like something you want to at least learn more about, lenders.
That's what I kind of figured.
There's one behind you.
There you go.
All right, so you guys connect. If you will connect a little later, Marty. Marty, y'all connect a little later, though.
Oh, yes, sir.
Meanwhile, he's going to write something, probably slip it to you if you got it.
Okay.
And you might do the same. All right? I promised Martha I'd let her speak, and I cut her off in a minute. Martha.
Oh, it's okay. So, Ashley, my question was, do you do cash out equity?
Is there anyone here that does cash out equity? What that means is that you are lending on the value or a percentage of the value of the property, not on how much it takes to acquire the property.
After repair value, you talking about?
Are you talking about the after repair value, or are you talking
Well,
about?
basically, everybody has different situations. Thank you, Cliff. So in my case, I have a property worth quite a bit of money, and I
Right now.
cash.
Right now, it's
That's
worth.
my question. When you put equity out, you use those money deals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here's the way that one works. The acquisition cost before the rehab may be less than 30 or 40% of its current value. Will you lend on that equity? That's one question. That means if she buys it for $70,000 and presently in its current condition it's worth $150,000 or $180,000, will you lend her $100,000? Anybody fits that motive or want to discuss that further? Raise your hand. Okay, Martha, you got some, I don't know, there's one possibility?
No,
Oh, okay.
another question.
All right, good. Your question.
My question is, will any of the lenders do non-recourse funding for funds that are in people's retirement accounts or LLCs that are owned by Roth IRAs where they show substantial money and maybe only care if they go to 50 or 60% loan to value, but you can't sign personally because you're not allowed? Anybody willing to do that?
Lenders understand that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we will certainly consider those deals.
Okay.
Depending upon how experienced,
Because it's not monopoly money, folks. They're lending you money,
Right.
right?
But we understand
Yes.
the need for it, and we have a self-directed area, we totally
Right,
understand
right,
the need
okay,
for it.
okay.
I don't know that we do that with a movie, in all honesty. We might if they were partnered, sorry, I
They-
apologize, I'll stand up for you. We might do that if they were partnered with an experienced investor like a Billings or something, or someone like that. Because I know they, helps in really well, so many of other people, but with an experienced investor that has a good track record, we certainly would seriously consider that.
Okay.
It's not in person.
Okay.
She beat me to it. Did y'all hear that part? Because they got some, how many of you are really itching to make your first or second or third deal? Okay, hold your hand up. Okay, so you really want to make that deal. You don't really have the track record you'd like to have yet. You just heard a strategy, and that's what I forgot, Marty. When Marty, there are strategies you can use to move yourself forward much more rapidly, and it basically is 2 letters. Who knows those letters? Say it again.
JV.
One more time.
JV.
JV, joint venture. Yeah. Joint venture. Find someone who knows what they're doing, bring something to the party that they can use, and you may be able to collaborate. But there are a lot of people who claim they want to do that. I gotta tell you, there are people, they get stimulated and they say, I want to do this, let's go, let's get this done. As soon as this movie goes over. Well, I'm ready. All right, maybe at 2 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock, and 4 o'clock, and they don't even call. So remember, it's not just who you know, it's what who you know knows about you. Yes, thank you. You want to say something? You just.
Yes, I just want to comment, because you went right down the alley I wanted to go down about joint venturing. I heard Joe say about the funding nationwide, and my REO property lists are nationwide. So you'd be surprised how fast you can expand. Everybody knows folks that live out of state. You may know folks that live out of state that have connections. You'd be surprised how fast you can take off, in wholesaling through a venue like this. The other thing that I wanted to say is we team up with investors that maybe are professionals in another field that have the funds to invest, are kind of leery of stepping out into real estate themselves because they focus on, or you focus on what you do best, and we can design a package in a joint venture for you to invest your funds safely and be able to grow for that money by joint venturing. So.
All right, thank you. You got that?
That's
I heard
good.
nationwide. I don't know what y'all heard. Right.
Are there any contractors here that would like to do JVs?
I didn't see contractors stand up, but I can tell you that I know a few who frequent this place,
Okay.
and if you go to the directory, they are on the directory. Okay. Something else you might want to write down that some of you know, some of the more experienced people are aware of. You're just getting started, something you can take back and say, what did you learn? A good deal for them may not be a good deal for you. Okay? Some of you said, Cliff, I got that. I hope you got that. A good deal for them at this price may not even be a good deal for you. And for some of you, a good deal at a higher price may not be a good deal for them, but it might be a good deal for you. I got one more. Sometimes it ain't about the price, it's more about the terms. Location would influence that, by the way, absolutely. You can make it happen based on price or terms or combination thereof. All right? Make note. There are some of you who are itching to get a property. And you will go and you will say, I'm going to take this out of my Roth IRA, I'm gonna get this out of here, I'm gonna get this property. Don't fall in love with any one property, please. You can overbid because you fell in love with a property, and you can find 2 or 3 for that same deal if you just keep your head about you. As a matter of fact, that's another reason to connect yourself with somebody to help keep you honest, all right? Now, speaking of joint ventures, can I ask those of you who are very experienced in real estate to just kind of raise your hand for me? And thank you. And I know some of you are a little less if you've done over 30 deals, 20 deals, all right, raise your hand. If you've done over 15 deals, keep your hand up, 15 or more. All right, those of you who have your hands up, if you are willing to JV with the right person, would you keep your hand up, otherwise drop your hand? So you don't want to joint venture with anyone?
I do, but I should keep my.
No, that's all right. We're not begging. All right, I want to start here with, I know this guy. All right, would you mind just kind of introducing yourself a little bit and just talk about what you do? Just a couple of minutes.
Sure. I'm Bill Ames. I'm an active rehabber. Very busy. Done probably 30 rehabs in the last maybe 4 years or so. So I'm busy. I will joint venture. It's a topic that I have discussed with numerous people. If you have a deal and you're trying to figure out how to make money on it, or you think it's a really good deal, my phone number is 410-207-1151. I'd be happy to talk about a joint venture. I can tell you that if I'm putting up the money for the joint venture, it's going to need to be on my terms. So,
that fair?
Rather than bursting your bubble, but I hate to do that.
That's fine.
But the people that I've talked to about joint ventures, many of them have a deal or have a property they think is a really good deal, but they have no money at all to put up. And they won't have to profit, and they're not doing anything except for bringing the deal. The terms, it's about terms. And
That's good.
I'm willing to teach you how to do it, but if I'm putting up all the money, it needs to be on my terms.
Let's follow this a little bit further. And I don't know if you're willing to do this, but if you will, maybe even for the sake of example. I heard you say you wanted a contract. Bill's not a contractor, but he's been in the business for a while. He's got some contractors in his belt. Now, if you wanted to JV with him so that he may use his contractor to help you get your deal, would you break off something?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you see what I'm saying, folks? You gotta step outside the box and look, and don't think about who can help me now. I'm gonna ask you to think, who can I help now? And you start helping folks in whatever ways you can, I promise you it will come back. And even if it doesn't come back from the person you helped, I get mystical on you. It comes back to you. All right? Yes. Yeah, okay, this time, because you had your hand up earlier.
Yeah. My question would be like for Bill.
Okay.
I have the money myself. I have access to capital. I have contractors. I'm a licensed realtor, a co-op banker. I have experience. I have a college degree. I have excellent credit. I have experience as being a landlord long term.
Martha, you getting that?
What I would be interested in contracting or JVing with someone is more of the experience that you would have as pricing. Like, I have my contractors, but I don't know if he's raping me on my price. Like, if I see a property where somebody like you had the eye, he might tell me $80,000. I don't know if it's worth $80,000. I would want to partner with somebody, and I have no problem putting up the money, but I want more of the experience of somebody that's not like a contractor that has something in, they're not objective.
Are you willing to compensate that person who's willing to do that for you?
Most definitely, depending on the terms of the conversation. Like, is it going to be like
Negotiation.
something I pay you $200, or I could put up the money or put half the money, and I have my own team of people, but I would need more.